1 day equals to 86,400 seconds, in which Earth can rotate once with a mass of approximately 6 into 10 to the power 24 kgs, then why students, you cannot control a mind of yours which is merely 1.4 kgs? Hi students, you must be wondering, why have I taken up an example of Earth to explain how to control your mind? Just imagine if Earth or Sun decides to be inconsistent and unpersistent and not control themselves by following a pattern, then do you really think that they would have been able to do things the way things are happening? Imagine the weight and the mass that the Earth possesses, but yet it works consistently, it works persistently to rotate once a day. And that is why we experience the seasons, the long days and the short days. Similarly, it is time for you to understand, students, that every single day that you have now is very, very vital. For ISC, you barely have 1 month to go. For CBSE, you have 1 month, 15 days to go. So if you don't start preparing now and wait for that last moment or the gaps that have been provided between the exams, it will be very, very late. So let's start understanding how to control your mind. Because once you know how to control your mind, which is merely 1.4 kgs, the entire problem is solved. You know why can't you control your mind? Because you have too many things which you want to do in excess. You want to do excessive video gaming, you want to do excessive social media use, you want to do excessive play, you want to do excessive sleep, you want to do excessive chat, you want to do excessive shopping. So these are things which actually deprive you from focusing. So what you have to do is, you have to control anything that takes you beyond, takes your mind beyond what is supposed to be done, is actually, distracting you. So now, in this 1 month and 1.5 months time, respectively for ISC and CBSE, you need to understand that you don't have time. So to manage that time and to be on time and utilize 1 day, one single day, you need to be controlled and you need to control your mind. Students, controlling your mind is not a difficult task. Suppose, students, you are sitting with a book open and you are thinking that if I score 90 in my boards, I will be getting my admissions done in Hansraj College in Delhi University, or I will go and join Mirinda House in Delhi University, or I will be going to Christ University in Bangalore. So this actually means that you do not have control over your mind. So what is actually distracting you? It is the future stress that you are having in your mind, that what will I do after the results are out? When you are talking about control of mind means that you are focusing at that particular moment. You are focusing at that particular moment and not going to your future. You are not thinking of the future and not assuming about it. How to cut down onto that? How to control your mind? How not to assume things and how not to go to the future? What to do for that? That is the problem, right, students? So the solution is very simple. The solution is that stop thinking about the social status that you will be given to you, that you are going to study in Delhi University. Your parents will feel proud about it. Right now, it's not the time to think how proud your parents will be. It is the time to think how to cope up with your studies in the restricted time I quote, restricted time or the limited time that you have before your boards. I'm not talking about the time that is in between the boards. It is before the board starts. So if I'm talking about ISC board, you have 1 month exactly left. If I'm talking about CBSE, you have 1.5 months approximately left. So this is what you have to keep in mind. Do not go to the future. You know what happens? You start to take stress. What if I do badly? Whether you are going to a positive aspect or going to a negative aspect of thought process. If you are thinking that I'll get into a good university and you're thinking that what will happen if I'm not going to perform well in my exams. Both are hypothetical situation which is not practical at the moment. What is practical at the moment? Being where you are. If you have opened your physics book, read the chapter electromagnetism. Don't go into where will you be applying it, or what will happen if you solve the problem in your examination and you do it. So this is what we say controlling your mind means. Be there at the moment. Right, students? And then you have to understand, if you start controlling your mind and you start being at your practical moment at that point, then you will understand that you have to be the person who is not negative. You start with maths, you start with physics. The first thought many of you come with in your mind is, maths is difficult, physics is difficult, how do I do it? It is not difficult. The thought process that you have made towards is making you feel it's difficult. What is difficult? When you started to go to school for the first day, did you know what is ABCD? Did you know what is 1, 2, 3, 4? You didn't even know that, right? So what makes it difficult is when you start running away from it. What makes it difficult is when you don't practice it. What makes it difficult is when the entire year the teacher was teaching you, or when you had 1 year time in your hand, at that point what you were doing is you were trying to escape from it, trying to be away from it as much as possible so that you can be happy. If I'm away from maths, I'm happy. So that has resulted in a point right now where you just have 1 month and now you are in a phase where you will be actually in a stress. How do I complete it? Students, this 1 month is again not to be under that stress. Nothing is stress. Stress is created in your mind when you don't control your mind. So let's face it. Let's go close to it. Let's open the book and say, I need you in my life. I need to apply you in my life. So let me learn you. Your attitude changes towards the subject, the difficulty level automatically changes towards you. It is that simple. Life is all about your attitude, the way you take your life and things around you to be. You cannot expect love from your parents if you are giving them hatred. They will also at some point get annoyed and start shouting at you. So what you give is what you get. Similarly, what you give towards your subjects is what you will get. What you will give to the subjects is what you will get. You respect the subject, you like the subject, you welcome the subject, you apply the subject in your life, the subject will also come closer to you automatically. Students, one is controlling your mind, the other is not wasting your time. Let's not waste your time by doing things which is not your priority at this point. Just focus on your studies and don't do things which are not to be done on a sub-priority basis, or which could be your second priority. Your video gaming should be your second or third or last priority at this point. After getting the control of your mind, What you have to actually attain over is, you have to stop wasting your time over unwanted things right now. Now, as I have already discussed, video gaming, extra play, is extra shopping, wasting time over shopping is actually going to, waste your time at this point, for which you have no time right now. Here, you need to understand that what is your priority, right? What should be your priority? Setting up your priority is very much important. So, if your priorities are set in life, students, there is nothing that is impossible. If you have got your mind set that I will make sure that I finish this topic in 1 hour's time, if you prioritize it, if you get your mind controlled and set, you will get it done. You will get it done, and there is no way and no one which can stop you. So, there is nothing impossible. So, you have to understand what can make it possible is getting the things prioritized. Lastly, please understand this concept very clearly, that the time that is given to you during your board exams, be it for 1 day, 1.5 day, 2 days, 3 days, 7 days or 10 days, whatever be the gaps given to you, it's not the time for you to prepare for that subject. It is not the time for you to prepare for the subject, but it is that time in which you're going to revise for the subject. Revising is the time where you'll recall. When you recall means you are actually making a summary of it. Summary means, you write summary of the entire whole book into 60 to 100 pages. Similarly, it is just the summarization of it. So please don't mistake it. We still have students who will be still waiting for that last moment to come, that when I'll have that last day, I'll start. There is nothing like the last day to start with. It is nothing like the last moment. The ones who will wait for the last moment will be regretting. So students, please, let's start now. Let's do it right now and recall during the last initial gaps that is given to you. And we have made certain more videos which can actually help you related to your boards. So you can please watch them and subscribe them. Thank you so much.